A very good morning, my dear students. I hope you and your families are safe and secure at home. Stay home, stay safe. Welcome back to Social Studies, History Online Classes, 12th Lesson, Democratic and Nationalist Revolutions, 17th, 18th, and 19th centuries. Children, in the 9th class, we have total 22 lessons. Total 9th class 22 lessons. 1 to 11 lessons consider as geography, and remaining 12 to 22 lessons consider as history. Understand? Total 12 lessons, 1 to 11 lessons considered as geography, and 12 to 22 lessons considered as history. So, now history part 12th lesson, Democratic and Nationalist Revolutions. Democratic and Nationalist Revolutions, 17th, 18th and 19th centuries. Today we are used to the idea of democratic form of government. Today we are using the democratic form of government in our country. All the citizens have fundamental rights and are treated as equal by laws. However, this kind of democracy was not there in the earliest times. So countries were ruled by kings. Countries were ruled by kings or emperors who made laws at their will, and the society was divided into estates, and each had its privileges and obligations. Understand, children? In the earliest time, we did not have democratic form of government, and society was divided into estates. Each had its privileges and obligations. So, earliest time, countries were ruled by kings or emperors. Now, in this chapter, we will read about how people fought to build democratic political systems and achieve social equality. England, the Civil War and the Glorious Revolution. England Revolution. England Revolution is called the Glorious Revolution. Why the England Revolution is called Glorious Revolution? Because the England Revolution was a revolution which was as usual common with the other countries. England also was ruled by kings, as it was ruled by the other nations. Why is the England Revolution known as the Glorious Revolution? It means it had some special significance. That is the England, the region of Scotland, New South Wales, England, the regions of Scotland, New South Wales, all these regions together, England. So it was ruled by the King Tudor dynasty. Tudor dynasty. It was ruled by the England ruled by the king of Tudor dynasty. Here, when the kings were ruling, it initially they had conflicts of rejecting the authority of Pope, which the king stood against the Pope, and later on this issue went on to very severe. They used to have a parliament which used to convince for the meeting, and the parliament should approve the improvement or the acts which the king need to get approved. For example, the king want fight a war. It has to be approved by the parliament, then only he can do it. So there was a conflict between parliament versus king, because these are some king who objected the authority or questioning the king's action. So understood it clearly. Let us see here 1603, the James I, who was they belong to the Stuart dynasty. Stuart dynasty. He ruled the king, and he was succeeded by the Charles I, who ruled for 11 years without any parliament. He did not convince any parliament, but once he decided to go for war with the other nation. In 1640, he needed money to fight some wars. So he was forced to summon the parliament to get special grants. The parliament continued in 1640 to 1660, known as the longest parliament. So then he decided that we need to call the parliament in 1640 and formed it, and it has run up 1660. So this happening, king started to become very autocratic, and he believed that king is have divine rights, and kings has absolute person who action should not be questioned. So in this process he started become dominant, and people started to object this one. So the issue started that they had two groups fighting. Parliament and the king. Wherever there is any voice looking at the misunderstandings of the parliament and the kings started take the advantage of this and start to corrupt the people. He tried to attack opposition, and he started arrest them and put them in jails. Finally, parliamentary party versus king party. Parliamentary party versus king's party. Charles I was killed in 1649. From then onwards, England became a republic. In 1688, the William of Orange, who married the granddaughter of Charles I, Mary was invited to become the king, and at the same time king was asked to be as the nominal king. He does not have any powers, only a constitutional powers, and he is checked and observed by parliament. Understand? In 1688, the William of Orange, who married the granddaughter of Charles I, Mary was invited to become the king, and at the same time king was asked to be as the nominal king. It does not have any powers, only a constitutional powers, and he is checked and observed by parliament. So now from the very strong rulers, kingship on monarchy, they are signed to be a normal without having any bloodshed. That is the reason why the revolution is known as the Glorious Revolution. The Glorious Revolution. So, from the very strong rulers' kingship of monarchy, they are signed to be a normal without having any bloodshed. That is the reason why this revolution is known as the Glorious Revolution or bloodless revolution. After the revolution, the control came into the hands of the House of Commons, which represented the middle class. In this period, only the people with land and property had the right to vote in the elections to the parliament. The right to vote was gradually extended to different sections of the population. Thus, parliamentary form of government grew in stages in England. American independence 1774 to 1789. After Columbus discovered American continent. In 1492. Columbus discovered American continent in 1492. England and other European countries had established its colonies on the eastern coast of North America. European countries had established its colonies on the eastern coast. Eastern coast of North America by the middle of the 18th century. So, Columbus discovered American continent in 1492. England and other European countries. England and other European countries had established its colonies on the eastern coast of North America by the middle of the 18th century. So 13 states had become colonies of British. So most of them were occupied by the people who wanted to be free and independent from England. They had moved to America and settled there to cultivate lands, run small workshops and conduct trade. So the English Parliament started forcing its powers on 13 colonies by making laws for the American states. But the people of those 13 states, did not vote in the elections to the parliament. Till 1750s, the American colonies in 1750s, the American colonies were inhabited by small and middle-sized farmers who owned the land and tilled it. It also had large number of artisans and traders. So, however, these colonies did not have any powerful landlords or princes as in Europe. While most of the people were Christian, they belonged to different sects and each sect has its own church. This means that the priest did not have the same authority and social position as in Europe. Many prominent Americans inspired and reinforced social equality in America. So many of them, like Thomas Jefferson, actively campaigned for the political equality and freedom of thought for all people. So later the English Parliament often passed laws that favored only English traders and factories rather than American people. Understand? English Parliament often passed laws that favored to English traders and factories rather than American people of colonies. The American colonies therefore raised the slogan no taxation without representation. So American colonies raised the slogan no taxation without representation. In 1774, representatives of 12 colonies met a congress at Philadelphia to protest against the British. They requested King George III to restore their previous rights, but the king refused to do so and tried to suppress the colonies. This led armed clashes between British and American soldiers. So the Second Congress also tried to find peaceful solution. They appealed to the king not to impose taxes without their permission. They decided George Washington to be the chief armed forces of the colonies. So they decided George Washington to be the chief of the armed force of the colonies. The king saw this as an act of rebellion and declared war in April 1775. So the Americans finally won the war in October 1781 CE with the military help of France. Understand, children? The king saw this act of rebellion and declared war in April 1775. The American finally won the war in October 1781 CE with the help of France. France helped the colonies because of the rivalry between Britain and France in establishing colonies empires. American War of Independence ended after Britain signed the Treaty of Paris in 1783 CE. France helped the colonies because of the rivalry between Britain and France in establishing colonial empires. The American War of Independence ended after Britain signed the Treaty of Paris in 1783 and recognized the independence of its 13 colonies. The Declaration of American Independence. The Declaration of American Independence. The Declaration of Independence was adopted on 4th July 1776 CE during the Third Congress at Philadelphia. The Declaration of Independence was adopted on 4th of July 1776 CE during the Third Congress at Philadelphia. Thomas Jefferson was the author of this declaration. Understand, children? The Declaration of Independence was adopted on 4th of July 1776 during the Third Congress at Philadelphia. Thomas Jefferson was the author of this declaration. It declared that all men are created equal and are endowed by the Creator with certain rights and which cannot be taken away, including life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. So, in 1789 CE, the government of the United States of America, the United States of America adopted a Republican Constitution. Understand, children? In 1789 CE, the government of the United States of America adopted the Republican Constitution. The United States of America would not be ruled by king but by representatives elected by the people. The United States of America would not be ruled by kings but by representative elected by the people. Okay, children. Hope you all understood the topic. Democratic and Nationalist Revolution. First part, England, the Civil War and the Glorious Revolution, American Independence, and the Declaration of American Independence. Thank you.